Hi, I'm Mark. This is my January review for Pisces Sun sign and Pisces rising. The month starts off on a very good footing. You have Mercury making an aspect to Neptune in your first house and in your sign. And this is one of those days where you just, everything just feels fantastic. It's imagination, creativity is really stirred, and you can be a bit dreamy on a day like this. It may just pass you relaxing, but if you want to do something, it must be creative, it must be involve using those Piscean talents. It's a good day to connect spiritually as well and to meditate. Then on the 4th, Mercury conjuncts Pluto, and this is a good day for investigation. This is a good day for networking with people, friends or colleagues, or in a group situation, and really thrashing something out and getting to the bottom of something and finding out what's wrong so that you can put things right. On the 7th, we have another great aspect. This time it's Jupiter, who's in the 12th house, the house of Pisces, who makes a positive aspect to Chiron in the 2nd house. Now Chiron and Jupiter both have an element of being the teacher about. This is a time, and it's 10 days this aspect lasts, this is a time when you're blessed by the divine and you can have great inspiration. This can really help you to move forward for the rest of the year and set the scene. This is a time when your self-worth can be examined, and you need to decide what it is you want to do and how you want to go about it. It's also a good time to work out a financial strategy as well, one that's in tune with your spiritual well-being, so that you are earning the money that you feel you deserve and you're doing the job you feel is right for you. This is a good time to get all that aligned. Then on the 8th, the Sun makes an aspect to Neptune. So Neptune's having another favourable aspect. This time again it will release your creativity. It will help you to get in touch with the spiritual side. So the start of January is going to be a very good time for getting in touch with the divine energy and the spiritual well-being. You'll also feel very compassionate towards others and very helpful towards others. It may be someone who needs your help that you will be able to put on the right track. Just as you're putting yourself on the right track, you may be able to help and guide somebody else to do the same thing. On the 9th, Mercury moves into your 12th house and Aquarius. And Mercury in the 12th house is not as communicative as it is in other houses. The 12th house is more withdrawn and it wants to think alone, really. The first aspect he makes is to Saturn. So this is a time when you want to just concentrate on things in the background, tidy up some of those things that have been outstanding. It's good for fine detail work, but it's not good for seeing the bigger picture. That comes a couple of days later when Mercury contacts Jupiter. This time you can see the bigger picture, but it's not so good for detailed work. So you've got to be careful not to overlook things. The thing with Jupiter is you'll want to learn things, you'll want to experience new things, and you'll want to be investigating things, and this will help you to form your plan. We've had all those ideas coming through now. This will help you to see the bigger picture and to formulate a plan, and this is still in the background because it's not going to be ready to be brought out into the open yet, because when Mercury's in the 12th house, things are kept in the background and kept almost secretive. Also on the 11th we have 5 days when we have 5 squares, so this is a challenging period. The first square is between Mars and Saturn, and this can always cause delays and hold-ups, frustrations. Mars wants to plough forward. Mars has now moved into Taurus and has taken on the sign of the bull, so he wants to push forward rather bullheadedly. But Saturn is restricting and limiting, so if you try to push ahead too quickly, then you'll come up against a brick wall. So you need to calm down, you need to take it easy and just take one small step at a time, not try to rush things through. When Mars and Saturn are together, sometimes it's like driving the car with the handbrake on. It doesn't really get going, the momentum isn't there. So beware of this. This is lasting for 5 days, so just hang back and either try a different route or just wait until the aspect calms down and then you can move forward again. On the 12th we have 3 square aspects. First one is between Mercury in your 12th house and Uranus in your 4th. This aspect heightens the mental activity, so it's hard to concentrate. Accidents can happen if we don't concentrate, so just have one thought at a time and do one task at a time, and you can prevent that happening. There will be great ideas coming through because Mercury's in the 12th house, so the unconscious is going to be very active, and there could be flashes come through of inspiration of how to change things, especially around the home area. This is a good aspect for bringing on new ideas. It's a good aspect for exploring exciting new things. Then on the same day Venus makes an aspect to Chiron, so here's a day to make good any upsets in relationships. It's good to get added perception about people and the relationships you're involved in so that you can smooth those out. Then the third and final aspect on that day is a beautiful aspect between Neptune and the North Node. Now the North Node is our spiritual way forward. Neptune is your ruler, he's in your house and sign at the moment, so this is a good way to get things in perspective. What Neptune will do, he will dissolve things that are around you. He will dissolve things that aren't truth, things that aren't real. So those will all disappear. Could be beliefs about things. It could be ideals. All these things will start to fade away so that you will be able to see the naked truth, so to speak. And you can then rise above all this, and your spirit will be much more in tune with who you are and where you want to be. The North Node will help to guide you in that direction. Neptune will work very well with the North Node, and you have this aspect for 20 days till the end of the month. So this is a good time to dissolve those negative issues and to push forward in the right direction. On the 13th there's a new moon. The new moon's in Capricorn and it's in your 11th house. It's also conjunct Pluto, so there's a intensity and passion that goes with this new moon. It's a good time to set new goals, new dreams, but just make sure they're realistic and attainable. It's also good for group endeavours. If you're involved in a group, it could be that the group can passionately work together towards a goal. The negative side of Pluto is there could be power struggles within the group. Someone could try to assert themselves over you and others. Sowing new seeds is also good at the new moon. This is good in the 11th house for business enterprises and for making money, income in the future. So all the seeds you sow now, you'll gain the benefit at the full moon when the harvest comes. The other thing you have to do with this full moon is try something different, because there's also an aspect to Uranus on the same day, so it's good to try something new and exciting. You've got nothing to lose. On the 14th we have a square aspect which is one of the most difficult to predict. Jupiter squares Uranus. These energies are very, very different. It's hard to see which way this will go, but a lot will depend on your situation and how you are aligned with the energies. For a start, we have Uranus in your 3rd house, so the mind's going to be very active, but it's also going to be very frustrated. It's going to be fed up with all the restrictions that's been placed around you for so long now, and it wants to break free. It's a very rebellious nature. And then you have Jupiter in your 12th house, who wants to bring on change, wants to bring on opportunities for you to change, wants to do this in a slower, wants you to grow slowly and expand and change your world for the better. So that conflict in energy really. So we're going to see a bolt out of the blue from Jupiter with a sudden opportunity or a sudden advancement, or there could be a sudden disturbance from Uranus, an explosion, a rebellious explosion that causes untold damage. So you need to master this. The idea is to have creative change, to do things in a creative way, not a destructive way. It's no good destroying things if you've got nothing to put in their place. So you've got to try and keep Uranus's energy lower down and promote the opportunities and the expansion from Jupiter. Then on the 19th, halfway through this Jupiter-Uranus square aspect, Mars comes in and has his say. He comes in conjunct Uranus, so he's putting pressure on Uranus. He's egging Uranus on to burst out and rebel. So this is even harder now to keep it under control. Now you can get some great ideas from this aspect. The most positive side of it is to have fantastic ideas, exciting ideas that you can take forward in the future, and it's a good time to start a new project and to start the ball rolling on something, put the energy into something more creative and useful. But Mars, if this energy isn't tapped, will keep prodding Uranus until he does something very disruptive. So you need to watch that, keep it on. It's also a time when you can have accidents as well. If the energy isn't mastered very well, Mars will be pushing straight ahead and you may not be concentrating and accidents can happen. On the 20th, Mars makes an aspect to Jupiter, a square aspect. So this can be a very successful time. This lasts for a week. So you've got time now to tap into this, but you need to master the energy. You need to control the energy. Because again, Mars is still having contact with Uranus, so it's still a bit unpredictable. So you need to make sure you can use this well. This can be a period when you are very successful, very lucky. It's like having the Midas touch. But you have to be aware of things that are going on around you. You have to be aware of the universe. You have to listen to the little voice within that can guide you and help you and point you in the right direction, doing the right things. Then on the 23rd, there's an aspect between the Sun, who's now moved into Aquarius, and Saturn. This is a good day to get all those things done that you've been putting off, all those dutiful things, responsibilities that you maybe have been shirking a bit. It's a good day to get all those done and do detailed work, paperwork. It's not good for seeing the bigger picture, but it's good for getting your head down and doing detailed work. There will be a temptation on that day because there's an aspect to Neptune, which means you may want to escape things. You may want to go and do something more enjoyable, but Saturn should keep you focused and get all those jobs done. On the 24th, it would be a good day to search out someone who you can talk to about finances and your future regarding finances. Someone who's got wisdom and knowledge that they could impart to you. Then on the 26th, you've got to expect the unexpected, because the Sun makes a square aspect to Uranus, and this one can be very unpredictable as well, like all Uranus aspects. The Sun is in your 12th house, the unconscious, so there could be sudden actions or words come out from the unconscious that you have no idea of where they come from. Because Uranus can do this, it can bring up sudden changes. Could be a sudden change of heart, could be a change of opinion. You will be quite amazed at what can come out on a day like today. The good point is though, try something different today. Try and do something a bit more exciting than normal. It's a good day for experimenting and trying something different. This will diffuse the energy somewhat. On the 28th, there's a full moon. Full moon is in Leo in your 6th house. So here you need to take action here, but it's got to come through the heart. Leo rules the heart. So your feelings have got to be processed through the heart. You've got to put your heart into things. You need to take responsibility for your health and your diet and your exercise, your routines, your work routines, your daily routines. You need to take responsibility for these now and take action and make changes where necessary. The Sun is opposite the full moon, that's in your 12th house. This is going to be your unconscious activated. The Sun makes an aspect to Jupiter. So here your unconscious will want to expand. You'll want to learn things, you'll want to understand things better. There'll be opportunities here to gain more insight and more psychological awareness about things that are around you. On the 28th, there's three other aspects that we need to look at. It's a very busy day astrologically. The first is a conjunction between Venus and Pluto, which is very intense passion and desire. And this is great for love relationships, or if you meet someone today, this could be good, very intense, but be wary because there may be underlying issues. The other aspect is Saturn against Chiron. Now this can bring up issues around money. Chiron's in your second house, so there could have been past issues where your responsibilities towards money were not very good. It could also bring up issues regarding authority figures and how you dealt with them in the past. And the third aspect is one between Mars and the Black Moon. This is probably the most intense one of them all. This could cause a lot of anger. Mars is conjunct with Black Moon in your third house of the mind, so there could be something that's been brewing up in your mind for some time, something that you've not been able to deal with and needs to come out. It could be something from the past, it could be a primal energy, because the Black Moon is about our shadow side and our primal energies. The thing is not to let anything just blurt out, because on the 30th, a couple of days later, the sun will shine a light on this aspect and you'll be able to see the truth behind matters and what you can do to make things better, to amend things, to repair things. So just hang fire on that for a couple of days and you'll be able to have the light shone on it. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.